Part V. The reflection spreads after Dr. Hannah El Rashid's disappearance. Her lab was sealed by authorities. The mirror, now whole and impossibly pristine, was confiscated and placed in the archives of the National Museum of Antiquities in Cairo. For months, it sat in storage, covered and catalogued as artifact #777-M, unknown origin, until one curator, Nabi Faris, decided to display it for the museum's upcoming exhibition, Echoes of the Ancient World. The mirror was mounted under bright lights, surrounded by velvet ropes and admiring visitors. For the first few days, everything seemed normal, but the security cameras began to show something strange. At exactly 3:03 a.m. every night, the footage flickered. For a split second, the reflection in the mirror showed an empty gallery, no display cases, no lights, just shadows and faint, whispering figures drifting by. The guards laughed it off, until one morning, they found a visitor's footprint inside the glass case. Nabi reviewed the recordings himself. When he slowed the footage down, frame by frame, he saw that each person who looked into the mirror left behind a faint shadow inside the reflection, barely visible, but multiplying night after night. By the end of the week, dozens of pale shapes crowded behind the glass, pressing their hands against it, as if begging to get out. Then, during the final night of the exhibition, the museum lights went out. When they came back on, the mirror was cracked, and every visitor in the hall was gone. Only the mirror remained standing upright, untouched, its glass now filled with hundreds of faces, frozen mid-scream. The reflection of the empty hall shimmered faintly, then faded, replaced by something that looked like a street outside the museum. By dawn, reports began to spread. Mirrors in nearby shops and buildings started showing extra reflections, faces people didn't recognize, movements that weren't their own. News anchors tried to explain it as a visual glitch, but the broadcasts ended abruptly when, live on camera, one reporter turned toward her own reflection and whispered, "It's calling me." Then the screen went black. Now, no one knows where the original mirror is. Some say it shattered and its pieces scattered worldwide. Others claim it is still whole and that every mirror made since that night carries a sliver of its curse. So if you ever catch your reflection smiling a moment too long after you've stopped, don't look back, because maybe you're not the one on this side anymore.